Good day, everyone. The title of the research, Difficulties Encountered by Quezon Northern District Teachers in Implementing Printed Modular Distance Learning and Their Coping Mechanism. Researchers are Federico Ingacasa Jr., Public Schools District Supervisor, Rosario Winchell P. De La Torre, Master Teacher 1, and Misil Hans P. Lapos, Teacher 3. Introduction. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, 1.5 billion students stranded at home and over 60.2 million teachers remain out of school. UN Secretary General 2020, as cited by Sarif 2020, the Department of Education explored alternative ways to provide continuous education. Using different delivery modalities such as modular distance learning, online distance learning, TV, video, radio-based instruction, and blended distance learning. Based on DepEd Memorandum DMCI-2020-00162, pursuant to Republic Act Number 11480, the traditional education system has changed to modular distance learning model, where teaching and assessment are conducted using digital modular distance learning or printed modular distance learning. This study aims to identify the barrier faced by teachers in the use of modular distance learning delivery mode and assess their needs as a whole. Literature review. In the Department of Education, learners may adopt either digital modular distance learning or printed modular distance learning. Learners with devices at home like laptops, desktops, or tablets may adopt the DMDL, while the printed SLMs shall be used by learners adopting PMDL. Department of Education Memorandum DM-CI-2020-00162. It appears that modular learning, an alternative to the traditional face-to-face classes supposedly meant to eliminate the risk of contacting the deadly virus, could turn out to be unsafe after all, and it is playing on the anxieties of teachers. Magsambal 2020. According to Bini of 2020, teacher well-being has been greatly impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. He suggested that as the pandemic progresses, teachers should receive support regarding work-life balance so that teachers' burnout can be avoided. Will 2020 stress that teachers who have a high-risk condition or are otherwise vulnerable and those who live with someone who is high-risk are left awaiting anxiously to hear how they will be protected and helped. Many of the teachers have physical conditions believed to make them more vulnerable to the effect of the coronavirus, and an analysis estimates that many teachers have health conditions that put them at high risk for COVID-19 complication. But www.tff.org. As written by Bindliff 2020, administrators and other stakeholders must acknowledge that secondary trauma can have long-lasting implications on teacher well-being and that providing mental health support, presentations regarding self-care, a trauma-informed care approach, and space for teachers to connect with peers as they grieve is essential.
The paradigm shows that the independent variable, which is the common difficulties encountered during the implementation of PMDL, is connected to the dependent variable, which is the coping mechanism of teachers in Quezon Northern District. Research questions. What are the difficulties encountered by Quezon Northern District teachers in implementing printed modular distance learning? Number 2, what are the coping mechanism of teachers in Quezon Northern District to the identified difficulties encountered in implementing printed modular distance learning? And number 3, what highly applicable interventions can be drawn to promote welfare among teachers? Research methodology, sampling, total enumeration, data collection. The researchers executed the following procedures. First, secured permission to conduct the study and adopted a questionnaire that helped in gathering data, then distributed the questionnaires to all teachers in the entire district. Lastly, the researchers tabulated and analyzed the data needed in this study. Ethical issues. Before conducting this study, the researchers were fully aware with the ethical issues and concern about preserving the dignity and rights of the research participants. Also, the researchers secured permission from the Division and District Research Committee. Likewise, the target population were informed of the conduct of the study, including its purposes and objectives. They were also assured that the responses and information within the questionnaire would remain anonymous and confidential. Completion of the questionnaire was taken as willingness to participate in the study.
Based on the findings, most of the respondents deemed that the difficulty to reach and communicate with the learners and their parents, especially those who have no cell phones, internet connections, held accountable as the common difficulty encountered by Quezon Northern District teachers in implementing printed modular distance learning. Learners who are not the ones answering their SLMs rank second, followed by students' learning development is hard to monitor due to limited face-to-face transactions. The respondents claim that their coping mechanisms to these identified common difficulties encountered rank as the following: home visitation and monitoring, close monitoring, coaching of the parents, guardians regarding their responsibility in making the learners continue to develop and learn during the time of pandemic, and the close communication with parents about how their children should answer the self-learning modules. Recommendations: strengthening the implementation of Project Kamustahan sa Paaralan that would closely monitor learners' academic performance and development. The Quezon Northern District should strengthen the utilization of radio-based instruction as the supplemental learning modality. The Quezon Northern District, headed by the Public Schools District Supervisor, should intensify the monitoring of the printed modular distance learning implementation. School heads should institutionalize the orientation of parents and stakeholders regarding the implementation of printed modular distance learning. And lastly, this is our output. Listed are the strategy, the time frame, persons involved, and expected outcome. Thank you.